Hello everyone and welcome back. So today I'm going to be updating the tutorial mod to 1.14.2. And I don't expect this to require very many code changes. There are some noteworthy changes in 1.14. I've updated all of my smaller mods, and one of the larger ones is mostly working, so that one had some difficult changes in it, but that's nothing we've covered so far. One thing we will need to do is generate some block loot tables, and because my build.gradle environment exploded, I don't actually have this Forge version installed anymore, so I can't show you, but I think vanilla does have a class. It's in loot table. It has a builder class, which I think you might be able to use to create the JSON files, but I honestly don't know how it works. I actually ended up just kind of making my own bit of Python code here. And I'll share this if anyone wants to try it. So basically just added a few methods to create some loot tables for common situations. Like the simple block is just this block drops a single item 100% of the time. This one will drop multiple items 100% of the time. Then there's one that will mimic the drops of diamond ore, so we'll probably be using this for our ruby and sapphire ore. And then I've got one for leaves, which has quite a few different keyword arguments here, where you can change the fruit it drops, if any, and you can change the sticks it drops, and so on. And as far as I know, all these methods are working correctly. These don't cover all the cases, but they cover some common ones. But we'll get back to that. And before I do anything else, I would like to point out that I now have a channel on BitChute. I should have remembered to link it in the description if you want to go subscribe to me there. My content is about as tame as it gets, so I doubt that I'll be on YouTube's chopping block anytime soon, if ever. But just in case, I went ahead and created a channel on BitChute. YouTube has been banning a lot of people. I don't even know where to begin with that. Yeah, that's a topic for another place, not here. But just a little backup plan. So let's go ahead and we're going to have to modify the build.gradle file a little bit. Thankfully, the format's pretty similar to 1.13.2. Actually, I think it's basically identical. I don't think they made any changes. I haven't looked at the MDK for 1.14.2 in a couple days, but I know that this format works. But I'm going to go ahead and clean up a few things. I did actually go and fix up this block, just kind of replace all the example mod stuff with the appropriate information. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull a few of these things out into the gradle.properties file so that they're just kind of in one convenient place. It makes updating a bit easier. So I guess I could go ahead and just copy from the file I'm referencing. Yeah, that'll work. And if it's not obvious, I very often reference files when I'm doing these tutorials and just kind of copy and modify as I go. So let's see, the group is very similar to your package name, but without the mod ID. The archives base name will be the name of your jar whenever you do a build. So I don't know, maybe I want it to be tutorial mod like that. Change that to match our mod ID. And that's not needed. JEI version, we're not really using that. I'll just comment that out for now. Not doing anything with that. Forge version, the build they released today was 26.0.25, and yeah, I forgot presentation mode. And we're going to be going back to the snapshot channel, and that actually reminds me. I was going to show something for that. I've actually had a lot of comments on the recent tutorials, and I appreciate that. YouTube's been kind of weird about sending me emails, so I'm trying to get caught up on that. But let's hide my bookmarks bar. There we go. So this website, export.mcpbot.bspk.rs, this has the latest mappings on it. So you can see latest mappings for 1.14.2 is 2019-0613. I believe they have daily snapshots or close to daily. Then you can see stable versions down here. There's no stable for 1.14.2 just yet. So all of this information here should be correct. So now we need to actually go to the build.gradle file and reference those values. So I'm not an expert on Gradle. I know it's in a programming language called Groovy. So you can look that up if you want to learn more about it. And what do I need to change here? Okay, actually, I didn't think what to do about the mod version. I'm actually using something where I pull it from a tag from my Git repo, but that's a bit complicated. We'll just leave the version number like that for now. Maybe change that to a 3-part. And just call that good. So archives base name. So to get stuff from the the Gradle.properties, we do project dot and then whatever the name of that thing was. So archives base name, and I don't think there's any way to autocomplete this. It just doesn't know about it. And for our group, it looks like I just omitted that completely. I don't know if that... Guessing that's getting assigned automatically, so maybe the archive space name is unneeded. Alright, so right here we need to set the channel and the version. So project dot, and it was called MCP channel, and this is project.mcp version, no mappings. Yeah, that may not actually work. I'm doing it in a really weird way in the file I'm referencing. I'll come back to that in just a moment to see if that needs to be changed. Okay, so right here, let's go ahead and highlight the 1.13.2, and we're going to be replacing that. And if you're... Actually, we need to change this to a double quoted string. And with double quoted strings, we can do replacements just right in the middle of the string. You do a $, then curly braces, and then in this case we called it Forge version. And then we can, or no, that's the MC version. The Forge version is the second part. Okay, so under jar, I'm going to add appendix equals project.mc version. And right here, we could actually do project.modid. Okay, so let's see if this will work. I'm thinking this is going to fail. Ah, okay. I see what I did wrong there. Let's actually change this. I've kind of been wanting to change this so I don't have the Minecraft version all over the place, so why don't we go ahead and do that. That should fix that, and then this is going to need to be changed. And then we attach the Minecraft version onto that. Okay, how do you like that? All right, I don't actually know. Let's get out of presentation mode. And I believe that worked. Okay, so that's a moderate improvement of our build.gradle file here. We extracted a lot of information to the gradle.properties, so it'll be much easier to make changes. When you want to update Forge, you just open gradle.properties and change the Forge version. If you want to update your mappings, just change the mappings and change the channel if you're going to stable. Okay, so let's go ahead and take like just a quick look through all of our classes and see if there are any compiler errors. I'm not really... Okay, well, actually they did change a lot of names. So they've gone from I believe they call it the Smurf naming convention, where the thing that kind of describes the category goes first. And now it's going at the end. So instead of block or, we're going to have or block. And go ahead and change that in the Java doc. Errors like that in the Java doc won't prevent you from compiling, but you might as well fix it. iBlock state is now just block state, and I also moved to a different package, so you'll have to fix the import. Okay, and the get item dropped method, that's gone. Harvest level, I didn't quite figure out what that was. And why is the get XP drop different? I know that method still exists. Now they added a silk touch parameter on the end. So this is a technique I use often whenever I'm porting. So if a method is showing up, like the override is like that. Yeah, presentation mode. Shouldn't be recording late, but whatever. So a good thing to do is to just press Ctrl-O to go open the override menu. See if the method still exists, and we can see in this case it definitely does. So why is it different? Just try overriding it. You can see the method signature is different in this case. And I specifically went above the old version because now I can just do this. And actually gonna have to fix the get item dropped. All right. So how's vanilla doing that? Okay, so that's what the silk touch parameter is for. Got it. Okay, and that's actually calling a new function as well. Okay, so we can't use that because it's got that if this equals this block, and else if this equals that block, can't use that. So let's take this, and we're going to say return silk touch equal to 0. Then we'll drop our XP. Otherwise, we're silk touching, so it's 0. And dropped item, we can get rid of that. And that means we can remove it from the constructors as well. Now, which of these do I need to... I guess I should modify this one. So Control F6 is how you change method signatures, and this is a good way to add and remove parameters. So I'm going to remove that item provider, refactor. Okay, we'll override a method of the base class. I think that's fine. Okay, and it didn't change this one. So I'll go ahead and just do that one separately. Just remove that parameter. And that's good. All right, so let's take a look at our command. There's a couple of things that have changed here. What's the problem here? Found collection of server. Okay, so that's just should update the names here. So entity player MP is now server player entity. Text component string is now string text component. And do I have any other entity player? I don't think so. And let's just do it like that. Text component translation is translation text component. Okay, so we've got an entity item here. That will be item entity. And what do we got here for sound events? Import class, I guess that one moved. Inventory container. What is that? Container, probably? Okay, and those errors got fixed because they were the signatures of my functions being wrong. Okay, finally, got gem, which... Okay, so that warning is just that this can be replaced with a method reference, so why not? Might as well. And mod blocks has a couple errors to fix. Mod items has an error to fix. So item block is now block item. And should be all we need to fix there. And mod blocks has a couple of these, so I'll just do a find and replace. And that should be everything. Of course, we will need to generate our block loot tables. I don't even have a loot tables folder. So that is loot underscore tables. And block loot tables go in a folder in there called blocks. And I'm going to go ahead and use that Python script that I showed earlier to create the block loot tables. So let me actually copy this first part here, create a new file. Okay, and increase that text size a little bit, so that should be nice and easy to read. So I've got one method here I'm writing, which is just outputting to a file. I think that most of this is pretty self-explanatory, so we're opening a file for writing. And in this case, you will need to create that output folder if you're doing this the same way. Then we're using json.dumps to write the data as a string. And then we're writing that to the file, and we're also passing it through this string method. And that just ensures that if there are any Unicode characters, that they'll get translated properly. Not really relevant for loot tables, but I copy this from a localization file updater, so that's why that's there. So let's see, we have a total of 5 blocks. 3 of them are just going to drop the block itself. So let's say for block in, and we'll do the simple ones first. So we've got bluestone, ruby block, and sapphire block. For each of those, we're going to write, and the file name will be block. And you can see I imported the loot tables up here as LT. So again, that's a different module. I'm just importing all the methods. So lt.simpleBlock. And then we pass in the ID of the item to drop, and you need to remember to have the namespace included in that. So tutorial : plus block. Okay, and let's actually put that in a variable. Okay, so now let's do the ors. And I'll just write them both out. So Ruby or going to be lt.fortune or, and in this case we need the or block and the item it drops. So it's going to be prefix plus Ruby or, and the item is going to be prefix plus Ruby. Okay, and let's just duplicate that line and change Ruby to Sapphire. Okay, so should be able to run that. Okay, and I didn't clear out the files I generated earlier, but I can just pick out the ones I need. That one and that one. Okay, and let's paste those into our new folder. Oh, and one thing to note with loot tables, you need to have a pool name for every pool, and my Python code I showed before, it automatically inserts pool names for you. So just keep that in mind if you're like going into the Minecraft jar and copying loot tables. You will need to add a pool name into every pool. And I know I haven't really talked about loot tables much. I don't really think I'm going to. There's plenty of information on them in the Minecraft wiki. Okay, so I think we can go ahead and run the mod, hopefully. Okay. I think I know what went wrong here. Kind of funny, it doesn't crash until it gets to the main menu. So I forgot to update the mods.toml file. So we need to change loader version to 26. And down here, under the Forge dependency, we need to change that to 26 as well, and the Minecraft dependency to 1.14.2. And now we should be able to run that. And I guess my mods.toml file is something else that I need to clean up a little bit. A lot of default information in here. Alright, and I don't know if loading up a world from an older version will work. Let's just go ahead and create a new one. Oh, something went wrong there. Parsing error, loading recipe, unknown item. Something has gone horribly wrong. Oh, and it crashed. Actually, you know what I did? I didn't remove JEI. That would probably be what's causing the crash. I'm surprised it made it that far. So yeah, let's go ahead and comment that out. We can remove JEI. Okay, we're in. That's just the normal stack trace. Alright, I think we're good. I'm actually curious. There was a bug I noticed in my previous environment where all the leaves just decayed. I'm already in creative mode. What am I thinking? Are they decaying in this case? I don't think they are. Maybe that was a bug with the mod I was working on, although I have no idea how that would be the case. Alright, yeah, leaves are fine, so I don't know what the deal with that was. It was so weird. I was just loading into a world and then all the leaves just start decaying. I'm kind of curious if that'll happen again right now. I'm going to check that out just for the heck of it. So, if you don't really care, then this is officially the end of the video. Why do you want me to clean up stuff? Sure, do it. So thank you for watching. I've had a few suggestions as to what to do next. I'm not sure what specifically I'm going to do, but I'm glad that this series has proven useful to some of you, and I appreciate all the comments I've gotten so far. And I'll see you next time. Wait, what was referencing the flower? Overworld plants. Thought I fixed that advancement. Overworld plants. Oh, it's the icon, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, advancements are something else. They just load automatically if they're in the right spot, so if you're curious how to do advancements. Okay, so our leaves just... yeah, leaves are just randomly decaying. I have no idea why it does this. It's kind of fun to watch. Oh, is there a village over there? I see smoke. Hey, it's a village. I don't think I've seen one of these. What is this house? Ooh. I like the purple bed. It's so tiny. I love this house. It's amazing. Oh, I really want to play 1.14 more. Okay, yeah, so just all the leaves are decaying in the Silent Gear environment. I have absolutely no idea why. This mod does add a tree. I wonder if that's related. Am I doing something wrong with leaves? I don't know. What is this? Is this like... no, that's two separate structures. I was thinking, does it go through the stone? Still, this house is very, very special. Alright, so I've wasted enough time here, so you can see this whole forest is just decayed. It's dead. No idea what's up with that. I'll figure it out eventually. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.